What's up everyone? Welcome back, and in today's episode I'm going to talk about two very popular Canon lenses. That is the 80-55 kit lens and the 50mm 1.8 prime lens. So let's get started. The kit lens is something which you get when you buy your camera, especially the crop sensor cameras like the Rebel series, the 77D, the 80D, etc. And it's a variable focal length lens, which means that you can zoom in, you can go wide angle from 18mm all the way to 55mm. It is good enough for everyday shooting. It has got built-in image stabilization, which is very good when you're shooting in like low light and you want to stabilize your camera, you're hand holding and shooting. It's good to have image stabilization built into the lens. But because of this variable aperture, which means that the aperture of this particular lens will vary from 3.5 when you are at 18mm to 5.6 when you are at 55mm. And these aperture ranges are not that well in low light, so you will have to increase your ISO to compensate for that, and which will actually end up in more grainy images. When I shoot with this kit lens, I generally keep my aperture at 5.6, so I don't have any change in exposure when I zoom in and zoom out. It gives decent bokeh, which means the blur in your background. But what if you want to separate your subject from the background more? Here it is. This is the Canon's affordable 50mm 1.8 prime lens. Prime lenses are actually fixed focal length lenses. So this particular one is a 50mm focal length lens, and prime lenses are generally considered to be much more sharper than telephoto or zoom lenses. It has got a 1.8 aperture and you can blur the background, so your subject will be separated from the background. It lets in more light than your kit lens, so you can shoot at lower ISOs and you get clean images. It is an EF lens, so you can use this particular lens with your crop sensor cameras, and if you're upgrading to a full frame in future, it still fits. It works with your full frame Canon cameras. If you're shooting video, you will love this lens. Couple it with Canon's dual pixel autofocus, you'll get smooth and silent focusing with this. Alright, enough talk. Let's get to some sample shots. Alright guys, so currently in the scene I have kept my 18-55mm kit lens, and it's roughly around 50mm, just equivalent to our prime lens. And when I meter, check this, I'm at 50th of a second, f5.6, and at ISO 1600 to get a proper exposure. So let's take a picture. Okay, so I'm going to switch to my 50mm 1.8 prime lens now and see how it looks like. This lens actually goes all the way up to f1.8, and as you can see, currently the image is getting overexposed because I have set my ISO to very high because I used 5.6 aperture with my kit lens. So in order to get a proper exposure, I'm going to reduce my ISO to 200, and now we'll take a picture. So let's take a close look at these pictures. So the first picture I took was with the kit lens, the 80-55mm kit lens at 5.6 aperture at 50th of a second and 1600 ISO. And you can see it's decent, and you got a decent bokeh or background blur. So this is a picture which I shot with the 50mm 1.8 prime lens at 1.8 aperture, and you can see the background blur is much more shallower than the kit lens, and this image was taken at 50th of a second, f1.8 and ISO 200, so you get much cleaner images since you're shooting at lower ISOs. So this particular lens makes a better choice if you're shooting in low light. Alright guys, that's it for now. I'll leave links in the descriptions below for this particular lens if you want to purchase it from Amazon. And as always, if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this. See you again.